Hello guys, welcome to the first ever video on my channel, Pau Piñata. Today, I'm going to show you the process to make a piñata inspired by the little monk who must learn to control air, water, earth, and fire to become the master of elements. I titled this project, Piñata Control. Pau Piñata! The first step was to make a fast sketch of the representative elements of the character. I normally like to include a front view, a top view, and a side view to consider as many details as possible when building my piñata. For example, here we have a sarong skirt like a robe, tied with a belt, a robe to cover the upper part of the body, and the representative glider. For this piñata, I use a total of 15 sheets of brown paper of 75 by 45 centimeters. To cover the mold, I use pink craft paper, as it absorbs more binders compared to the bleached ones. However, regular craft paper or newspaper can be used. I trimmed the paper into 3 different sizes. The largest approximately of 15 cm by 10 cm, the medium of 10 cm by 5 cm, and the smallest of 5 cm by 5 cm. It is important to mention that they do not have to be perfect squares or rectangles, since small imperfections will help to make the cardboard structure stronger. To prepare the piñatero paste, I use 2 parts of white glue by 1 of water, stirring until smooth. Then, I grease the front side of the mold with regular hand cream, trying to cover all the areas, applying a greater amount to the deeper zones. Next, we proceed to stick the brown paper on the entire surface, soaking the pieces of paper in the piñatero paste to ensure the best adhesion. It is in this phase of the process where it's important to have different sizes of paper, since that will allow us to adapt the pieces to the shape of the mold, avoiding wrinkles and the loss of details. We start by placing the paper with our hands, and as we move forward, we can help us with a brush to eliminate imperfections and give a smoother finish. Once the front side of the mold is finished, we'll let it dry, and then we'll repeat the greasing process, and then gluing the paper on the mold, now on the back side. Drying time can vary depending on the weather. On a spring day with 79 Fahrenheit degrees, it takes around 3 hours per coat, but in winter or rainy days, it can take much longer. On some cases, for the paper to fit well on the mold, it is necessary to make some extra cuts on the piece of paper, especially in the curved areas. We must repeat this process between 5 and 6 times to give the piñata enough cold and rigidity to withstand the blows. Now, we're going to draw a straight line that will be the reference to cut the piece in half. Here, you need to pay a lot of attention. It is very important that when we cut the piece with a cutter, we do not apply too much pressure with the knife, since if the piece moves, we could cut ourselves. That is why we have to take several passes without much force with a very sharp knife until we reach the mold. Once cut, we carefully separate both sides of the piñata until they are removed from the mold. Now, we put the two pieces together and join them with masking tape. And then, we cover the joint line with more brown paper, preferably 3 layers, helping us with the brush for a neat finish. We let it dry and our base for piñata is ready to paint. For the body, I used acrylic painting in cream color. I regularly apply 3 coats of paint to make sure I get a solid color. For the base of the eyes, I use neutral white, taking care to get clean edges. Although his eyes are originally grey, to give a little more harmony to the color composition, I use light blue that combines with the arrow tattoos on his arms, back and head. Then, we outline the edges of the pupils with black. Then, with light brown, we delineate the mouth, the nipples, the eyes, and the ears. Afterwards, we paint the arrows of the arms, and we can continue with the next step. We place the piñata on a sheet of recycled paper and draw the outline of the piece. By hand, we draw the shape of cloth for the monk's costume, and we draw an offset of 10 cm from the outline. Then, we cut the template for the clothing and we measure it on the piñata. Afterwards, we trace the silhouette of the template on medium yellow china paper. We cut it and make a 5 mm hem along the entire edge of the paper, helping us with the scissors. Then, we glue it on the piñata with cold silicone, repeating the same process for the backside. Now, we make a robe to cover the upper part of the body with a rectangle of orange china paper. For the belt, first we make an irregular pentagon with brown paper china. Then, we cut a pair of rectangles of red paper china and we glue it around the waist. For the glider, cut out strips of recycled cardboard, one of 75 cm, one of 50 cm, 5 of 25 cm, and 4 of 12 cm, all of them 2 cm thick. They come together to form the wings of the glider. Covered with 3 layers of brown paper and piñatero paste, in order to stiffen the structure. Then let it dry. After that, draw and cut a template with recycled paper of half a donut of 15 cm in diameter and 15 in thickness. Then, draw and cut another template of 15 cm in diameter and 10 cm in thickness. Once the cardboard structure is dry, cut the leftover brown paper to later paint it with dark brown acrylic paint in both sides. Later, with red china paper, cut out 2 pieces of the 15 cm diameter template and 2 of the 15 cm diameter one. Later, stick them on the structure and cut the excess of the material. We glue the glider on the back of the piñata and we have our piñata control. Pau Piñata! If you liked the video, give me a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.